नारायण वेद पारायणा
नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण वेद पारायण
हरि नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण वेद पारायणा
नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण वेद पारायण
करुणा भरणा भव भय हरणा
करुणा भरणा भव भय हरणा
करुणा भरणा
भव भय हरणा
पावन चरणा पतित जनावना
चरणा पतित जनावना
पावन चरणा पतित जनावना
चरणा पतित जनावना
नारायणा हरि नारायणा
नारायण हरि नारायण
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 नारायण हरि नाम भजो रे नारायण वेद पारायणा
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering a collective pranams to Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai. Elders, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram and a very good evening. Mahanavami greetings to all and welcome to day 10 of the Navaratri Homa, Atirudra Mahayagna and Durga Puja celebrations here at Sathya Sai Grama. We extend a warm welcome to Ms. Sirisha Varuganti, CEO and MD of Lloyd's Technology Center. We will begin today's proceedings with Vedic invocation by the girl students of the university, and they will chant verses from the Sri Sukta.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयी लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तामहावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीम् यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयङ्गामश्वं पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वां रथमध्यां हस्तिनादप्रबोधिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपह्वये श्रीर्मा देवी जुषताम् कांसोऽस्मितां हिरण्यप्राकारां मार्द्रां ज्वलन्तीं तृप्तां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मे स्थितां पद्मवर्णान्तामिहोपह्वये श्रियम् चन्द्रां प्रभासा यशसा ज्वलन्तीं श्रियल्लोके देवजुष्टामुदाराम् तां पद्मिनीमीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये लक्ष्मीर्मे नश्यतान् त्वावृणे आदित्यवर्णे तपसोऽधिजातो वनस्पतिस्तव वृक्षोऽथ बिल्वः तस्य फलानि तपसानुदन्तु मायान्तरायाश्च बाह्या लक्ष्मीः उपैतु मां देव सकः कीर्तिश्च मणिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रेऽस्मिन् कीर्तिमृद्धिं ददातु मे क्षुत्पिपासामलान् ज्येष्ठामलक्ष्मीर्नाशयाम्यहम् अभूतिमसमृद्धिं च सर्वानिर्णुद मे गृहात् गन्धद्वारान् दुराधर्षा नित्यपुष्टाङ्करीषिणीम् ईश्वरीगुं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपह्वये श्रियम् महालक्ष्मे च विद्महे विष्णुपत्ने च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मीः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
This morning, Chandi Homa was performed invoking the divine presence of Devi Chandika, the formidable form of Adi Parashakti. Revered as the energetic manifestation of Goddess Durga, Chandika embodies the cosmic power of creation, sustenance, and dissolution. She is also known as Devi Chamundeshwari, the slayer of Chanda and Munda, and is considered as the Nada Devata, the presiding and patron deity of the Mysore region in Karnataka. Durga Yantra was drawn to invoke Devi's blessings, and the rituals included offerings of payasannam, accompanied by the chanting of the Durga Saptashati, 700 verses glorifying the Divine Mother. Chandi Homa is one of the most powerful Vedic rituals invoking the combined powers of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. As part of the Durga Puja, Mahadevi was worshipped with 16 holy articles called Shoroshar Puja, thereby culminating the 9-day-long worship to the Mother. Pushpanjali was offered. Navami Homa, which is called Mahapriti, was performed to Devi Chandi. Bhog was offered as the puja concluded with Aarti. Rudra Homa concluded with Purnahuti, followed by Ashtavadhana Seva, Chaturveda Parayanam, rendition of Sangeetam, Panchavadyam, and Nadaswaram. This morning, Dr. T.B. Jayachandra ji, Honorable Member of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly from Shira constituency, participated in the proceedings. In his address, he shared that 25 years ago, Muddenahalli was merely a landscape of stones and rocks. Today, it stands as a vibrant center radiating the spiritual presence of divinity, and this is solely because of Sadhguru's presence and grace. In his address, Sadhguru said that our institution will continue Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's mission of reviving Sanatana Dharma to spread the message of the universal truth. Vidya Danam is the highest form of service, and therefore, this knowledge must be passed on to the next generation. At the Uma Maheshwara temple, puja was first offered to the Dvajastambha, which, like the spinal cord of the human body, symbolizes a bridge between man and the divine. Over the last few days, as part of the Pratishtapana puja, the idols underwent several ritualistic processes for Shuddhikarana by being immersed in water, Jaladivasam, Dhanyadivasam in various grains, Faladivasam, different types of fruits, and today was Pushpadivasam, where flowers of different kinds were offered. Purnahuti was then offered for Saraswati and Sharda Homas. In his discourse, Sadhguru said that the students of our Veda Gurukulam are truly blessed, for they receive education of both secular and spiritual texts, while also learning various skills such as singing, chanting the Vedas, and playing instruments. He spoke of how temples are the very soul of Bharat, and therefore it is important to preserve this tradition. He urged the Vatus to make use of this opportunity, learn all kinds of knowledge, so that they can spread it to all corners of the world. Today is also observed as Ayudha Puja, wherein worship is offered to vehicles and various articles of usage across all professions, be it artisans or laborers, doctors or engineers, teachers and students. That all is divine is the underlying principle of Sanatana Dharma, and therefore this practice is a mark of our gratitude to the divine, which is inherent in all matter, whether it is Jada, inert or Chaitanya with consciousness. From the spiritual segment, we now move on to our social endeavors. As part of the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival, We honor visionaries whose lives have brought meaning to many and whose work continues to inspire and guide a better tomorrow. This evening, we are pleased to present the One World, One Family Global Leadership Award to Ms. Sirisha Muruganti, CEO and MD of Lloyd's Technology Center. With over 33 years of distinguished experience across research labs, product engineering, strategy, and innovation, she has held leadership roles in some of the world's most respected organizations, including JP Morgan Chase, MasterCard, Tech Mahindra, and Defense Research Labs. She was the first woman managing director of JP Morgan Chase Technology in India and the first group executive leader in technology for MasterCard outside the US. Today, as the first employee and now CEO and Managing Director of Lloyd's Technology Center in India, she leads the organization as a key pillar of Lloyd's Banking Group's £3 billion strategy in AI, cloud, blockchain, digital, and data transformation. Her career is a remarkable blend of innovation and impact, from working on India's indigenous missile and aircraft program in her early years to shaping global digital ecosystems in banking and payments. She's a patent holder, a Harvard Business School executive alumnus, and a recipient of numerous honors, including the Women in Technology Leadership Award from NASSCOM in 2025. Tonight, we celebrate her journey as a global leader, innovator, and trailblazer. We now invite Ms. Sirisha to please accept the award and deliver her acceptance speech.
Pranam Swamiji. I've come here now for the fourth time, I think, and every time I walk in through the gate, it's an amazing feeling of what's happening here. Today I had the opportunity to actually see some of the, I saw the hospital, that is being constructed. I went to the temple site and all of that. And I was just telling Swamiji and the others that if we in the corporate world had goals like this, where we set an end date and we actually work to that, the world would have been a better place perhaps. But that said, this award to me is extremely humbling. For those of you that know the Mahabharata, I wanted to call out a shloka. At the end of the Mahabharata war, after the war actually, apparently Krishna and Arjuna were sitting, and Arjuna asked Krishna, or Arjuna in his own way was calling out with a lot of pride how he enabled the victory in the Mahabharata war, especially the killing of Karna. Because, for those of you that have read it, there is always the saying that without Karna, there would be no Mahabharata. Because, if there was no Karna, I don't think Duryodhana would have ever felt that he had the strength to actually defeat the Pandavas. So here's the shloka. This is what Krishna told Arjuna, really. He said, Ni chetanu, na chetanu. It's because of you and me. Paramadigina kunti chetanu. So if you remember, Kunti asks this boon of Karna, saying, at the end of the war too, I should have 5 children, right? And Karna gives her that award, grants her that boon. So it's either him and he didn't want to fight the Bhimas of the world and all that, because at least in archery, they were not of equal empowerment. Right? And so it goes, Ni chetanu, na chetanu, varamadigina kunti chetanu. Vasa vichetanu, dhara chetanu. So those of you that know, there was this, the Nagastram, which Karna releases against Arjuna, and Krishna actually pushes that chariot down, and the arrow actually hits his head. Vasa vichetanu, dhara chetanu, selyu chetanu. And for those of you, Shalya was the charioteer who kept telling Karna, you're going to lose the war, right? And so Karna was defeated by 6 people. The reason I'm telling you this was, and this is, just to tell you that any of these, building an institution like the one that we've done, where I happen to be the first employee, to wherever we are today, is not a one-person effort. There are a lot of like-minded people that come in and contribute in their little way to actually enable the success. So if I ever come and believe that some institution has been built because of me, that would be my ignorance. But that said, it's really nice to be here and receive it on behalf of a lot of us that have built this institution. And the reason I feel very associated with the mission and what Swamiji is driving here is he has this amazing vision of, this hospital. They tell me that there is an entire floor which is for innovators to really come and, come up and showcase, and not just showcase, I think, work along with the hospital around innovation on healthcare. Not too many people are really doing this, where people from across the globe can come in and see and innovate freely, actually experiment and see how some of the devices, etc., that they have made are working. And not just for them. I think the future is all around technology. Today in companies like ourselves, we talk about what AI brings in. We talk about, what is it that we can do quicker and faster so that there is more dollar that's actually left for us to do more innovation for customers. And for a long time, I believed banking and financial services institutions don't have too much to offer in terms of new things that we can do. But once I was part of it for the last 12 years, the amount of innovation that I see, and it's not just AI that's coming in today where, you make a call to a bank and it's no longer an agent that's speaking to you, but there is an AI agent which is actually talking to you, which means that there are people that can do something else. We can generate more revenue, of course, for the bank, but there are other services that you would require. The same thing, and there are so many other technologies that we're looking at. There's blockchain for doing, international payments. For those of you that have seen this digital revolution in India, where, today you don't even need cash as you're going around. You use your mobile device. You can transfer money account to account. You can transfer, you can pay for your grocery or whatever it is, whatever the denomination. And today, some of these innovations we're actually taking across the world. And I feel really proud. For those of you that have seen the British Prime Minister, I work in a British bank, so the British Prime Minister recently announced digital identity. And this was something that we'd actually taken from what we did in India. So that is the first time that there was an innovation that has moved across the world of that magnitude. And I believe if we are able to have digital ID, there are so many services that the West also can offer, especially in London. They don't have the concept of a digital ID. What we have around, the dual biometric that we have, whether it is your fingerprint or your iris scan that they take at the time of Aadhaar, they don't have that in the West. And so some of these are what we're trying to introduce with what we are building here. But I think there's just, a lot for us to do jointly with some of these countries. And I think India today is really the flag bearer of innovation. And I see so many youngsters in this room, and I just believe all of you, believe in yourselves and go on with this journey, whatever that is, and we can definitely conquer the world. As I leave the stage, to me it feels, this is probably the one of the best festivals, and I always love Dussehra because this is probably the only time we celebrate women power to its utmost. And coming from a country like India where, it's not always that you find a lot of, encouragement for women, getting an award like this during this festival feels really, really nice. The last thing that I want to leave you with is, again, there is a story, and this is for all the girls in the room. I don't know how many of you have seen a baby elephant. A baby elephant is tied to a small peg, a wooden peg, with a tiny rope, okay? and the elephant is moving back and forth around that peg. And as the elephant grows, you see a huge elephant, which is again tied to that peg, but now with a metal, a chain. And the elephant is going back and forth. It actually takes the elephant maybe a jiffy to get itself off that peg, and explore the world. For many of us, I think life is like that, where we constrain ourselves in our mind and soul and have those shackles and keep moving back and forth there. My little urge to all the girls in the room is love yourself. You have that power and the capability of this baby elephant. Let it loose, and you have the world to conquer. So with that, thank you very much, and feel really, really humbled to get this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sirisha, for those wonderful words, of insightful words and of inspiration to all of us. This evening, we are honored to present the CSR Circle of Honor to two of our corporate partners. First, we are delighted to honor Kernix Microsystems. Founded in 1991 and headquartered in Hyderabad, Kernix Microsystems Limited is a certified solutions provider specializing in railway safety and automation. With deep expertise in design, engineering, manufacturing, and turnkey solutions, Kernix has pioneered advanced systems such as train shield, train collision avoidance system, level crossing protection, and smart yard inspection systems. As part of its CSR commitment, Kernix Microsystems has extended their support towards education and in managing operational expenses of Sai Swasthya centers and the Sai Arogya Hospital. Representing Kernix Microsystems today is Mr. Sitaramaraju Manthena, Executive Director, and may we invite him to please come on stage and receive the honor. He is a leader with over 2 decades of experience in international business development, project management, strategic and operational planning, and financial management. With a strong academic foundation in computer science and business administration, Mr. Raju has successfully combined technical expertise with business acumen, spearheading global partnerships and growth for Kernix. May we request Mr. Sitaramaraju to share a few words with us, please.
Okay. Swami, esteemed guest, dear brothers and sisters, it is with deep humility and gratitude that I accept this blessing today. This award is not just for me or my organization, but for the entire team, volunteers, partners who have walked the journey with us. True corporate social responsibility is not the obligation, but about the oneness. The understanding that business and society are not separate, but two sides of the same coin. Whatever we give back to the community is a fact, an investment in the future that is more compassionate, sustainable, and inclusive. Receiving this honor from Swami makes it especially meaningful, as Swami has always reminded us that service done with love for the highest form of worship, this blessing strengthens our resolve to continue working with our greater dedication, not only to meet our social needs, but to uplift lives with dignity and care. On behalf of everyone who has contributed to this journey, I offer my heartfelt thanks. May all be guided by Swami's vision to live not for ourselves, but for the good of others.
Thank you, Mr. Raju. Our second partner to be conferred the CSR Circle of Honor this evening is Lloyd's Technology Center. Under the visionary leadership of Ms. Sirisha Uruganti, it has accelerated transformation and enriched digital experiences for millions of customers worldwide. With over 3,500 engineers drawn from every corner of India, the center has become a hub of innovation, collaboration, and technological excellence. Through its CSR initiatives, Lloyd's Technology Center has extended support to the Annapurna Trust Morning Nutrition Program in Telangana and has also contributed to the Kundapaka campus for girls' education and empowerment. Representing Lloyd's Technology Center today is Mr. Rajesh KS, Chief of Staff to the CEO. We invite Mr. Rajesh to receive the honor, please. With more than 23 years of diverse global experience across product management, strategy, consulting, digital transformation, and innovation, Mr. Rajesh embodies entrepreneurial spirit and leadership. His journey spans from banking and payments to autonomous vehicles and big data analytics. With a strong foundation in both technology and business, he has consistently built product lines, nurtured enterprises, and driven strategic growth. We request Mr. Rajesh to share a few words, please.
Namaste. Absolutely humbled to be here and to be in the midst of such wonderful people, such wonderful facility and campus. We at Lloyd's are the oldest bank in UK, a little over 350 years old, but just about 24 months old in India, setting up our operations under the able leadership of Ms. Sirisha Varuganti, who is on stage here. And just a while ago, she was sharing that one of the key themes and mission of the organization is, as we build, we need to remain good. We need to continue doing good to people, to the society, and to everything and anything that we see around us. And a lot of good things will start happening. As part of that, we have just initiated a few CSR initiatives. And engaging with the Prashanti Bala Mandira Trust and the Annapurna Mission has been really fulfilling. This is just a start, and we're really looking forward to going long in this initiative, and hopefully a lot more opportunities to engage and contribute and do well, feel good, and ensure that a lot more people around us are feeling good as well. Really excited about the upcoming hospital, where there is whole lot of opportunities for people from tech community to come and engage and contribute. Really looking forward to that. And once again, I thank each and everyone here for giving this opportunity to come and speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh. We do look forward to your continued support and partnership. On behalf of all of us, we pray to Sadhguru for his divine message this evening.
Vedavyasa, who had composed so many Puranas, classified the Vedas, finally concluded, Ashtadasha Puraneshu Vyasasya Vachanadvayam Paropakaraya Punyaya Papaya Parapidanam. The essence of the 18 Puranas that he had written is only this much. Paropakaraya Punyaya. To do good to others is merit. Papaya Parapidanam. To harm others is sin. So if we can learn these two simple things, which is what Bhagavan says, help ever, hurt never. As simple as that. We have learned the essence of all the Puranas and all the Upanishads, all the Prasthanatrayas, whatever scriptures that we can lay our hands on. The essence is very simple. Do good and do no harm. When we celebrate these kinds of initiatives by various corporates and individuals who come together to support various causes, including ours, whether it's nutrition, education, and healthcare, what are we trying to project or portray? The same idea, that to do good is the real reason why we are here, and to do no harm to anyone. And when corporates take this responsibility of doing good, because they wield immense power. And yet they decide that they must remain honest, true, ethical, moral, and do business without cutting corners. And then whatever they earn out of it, they must share with the society at large. Then we set an example for the whole world. We are very happy to have such amazing corporate partners who have been supporting this mission, which has grown leaps and bounds. As Shishaji was telling me inside when we were talking, that your way of executing these humongous projects is something that probably we should try it out in the corporate. If they can succeed a lot. I said, you can't do this, because here people are totally invested in these projects, in this mission. Body, mind and soul, they are completely here. They don't work for a living. They work for their life. They don't see the time by the watch and decide when to start and when to stop. And should they work an extra hour on that day, demand an extra remuneration, compensation for that. But these things don't exist here. People work because this is their life. And they always achieve because they have given everything to it without reserving anything for themselves. That is why this mission is growing. This cannot be applied in a corporate. You cannot cut, copy, paste into the corporate scenario. It won't work. People will run away, I told her. Because they are not fully invested. They are there for what I can get is the motivation. Whereas here, what I can give is the motivation. What can I give? Whereas, what can I get out of everything? And that is the reason why the world cannot be the same as what it is here. She was mentioning inside the gate, outside the gate, there are two worlds. I said it is true, because the culture here is of giving, not of getting. In giving, if you get something, that is a part of it. Like we go to temple, we offer naivedyam to the deity, you take fruits, flowers, coconuts, and then the temple priest will break the coconut, bring back something for you, and you take it home as prasadam. So this place is about offering that naivedyam to the divine through our work. And whatever prasadam comes from it, be it a responsibility, a new project, an income, or any other prasadam that comes out of it, we are happy and contented with that, and we live with that. So there is no other reason why we work. And that is why this is different. And it's very difficult to replicate. Unless you can make everybody selfless in the world, it is difficult to replicate this model. The more selfless people are, the more good will happen in the world. We are the reason why good does not happen, because we do not want to do good. We are selfish. But for everybody in their life, a moment comes. That call comes. When God, the divine, whispers from within that this is your time, this is your moment to seize, this is your moment of truth, this is the time to decide what you really want to do in life. And that is the time when we have to answer that call. If we miss that moment, that call, probably it never returns to us for many, many years. And many of us miss that moment because we are scared of the unknown, the uncertain, the uncomfortable. Because we are used to a certain comfort zones, we are used to a certain way of life, and even if it's painful, it is like a known enemy, better than an unknown angel. So that is why we live on, creatures of habit, go on and on, not willing to take any chance. But then nothing changes. We remain the same, the slaves to the schedules and creatures of our conditioning. Only a few who listen deeply to that call from within, which asks them to change their tracks, which asks them to change their ways, to explore the unknown, to do the never done, they make history. That leap of faith that happens at that moment of calling, that makes all the difference in people's life. And then they die, even if they die unsuccessful, they die fulfilled. Because they have listened, they have answered to the call of God within and done what was needed to be done. And this world belongs to them. Anybody who has created history, transformed humanity, or made a significant difference is that person who has listened to that call from within. And despite the risks, the chances, the uncertainties, and the discomfort that comes with it, they have still taken the plunge. And then they have made all the difference. And that is what is happening. So then leadership, we were talking about leadership, and I was telling leadership is about this. In believing in something and then giving it everything that you have. Retaining nothing for yourself. And unless you are that, nothing moves, nothing happens. Yes, some mediocre, some average things goes on. That helps you keep your flesh and bone together, and that's about it. But nothing significant happens unless you believe in a cause, a purpose, a higher idea, and then you are willing to take that plunge of faith and give it your everything. That's true leadership about that. Fearlessness is leadership. That's selflessness is leadership. And so because she is a leader, and so naturally, people discuss certain things. So we were talking about it, that how people are different here, because they've all answered that call of the divine from within at some point in time. As they say, threw away the towel, and then they are here. So many corporate executives are working in the mission, giving up all their jobs and comforts of the past. I'm sure they have gone through that moment of uncertainty and unsure feelings. But then they did listen to the higher call, and then they came in. And today this mission is going because there are professionals behind everything, but they work like missionaries. And that is the difference that this mission is about. It's so professional. So people come and ask, how do we achieve this much at this pace? How can it happen? That too, there is no transaction. You see, there is a profit to be made. At the end of it, people can give it everything. But here we are here to do charity to somebody who doesn't even belong to us. We are not obligated. We are not answerable. Yet we do this. Why? How? And I tell the same thing. It's because we are driven by purpose. And that purpose is to do good, which is the essence of the Puranas, which is the essence of the Upanishads, the Vedas, and all the good that ever has been spoken in the world. It all has led to this one conclusion, that we are here to do more good. So every day you do incremental good, little more than what you did yesterday. It makes you a better person. It makes the world a better place. That's exactly why we do what we do. I'm also very thankful to Karnix Microsystems. They are our own people, Sitaram Raju. Quietly, they do a lot of work for us behind the scenes. And now they're supporting the Kondapaka campus also, along with Sai Swasthya and other Sai Arogya at Bapatla and other centers. But again, as I said, it is about that incremental good. You can do so many things with your resources, but then you decide to do good with it, you start making a difference. So also, because Lloyd's Technologies, Shrishaji is the MD and CEO, a woman of substance. She is a scientist, she is a technologist, a philanthropist, a women leader, and a huge supporter of women empowerment. So Lloyd's, she was earlier with JP Morgan. There also she helped us. In Lloyd's also, the first CSR that went is to us because she believed in this cause. And for girls' education in Kondapaka, they're supporting Annapurna. And through her good offices and her friends in the corporate world, she has also influenced them to support this mission in her own way. That is how goodness spreads. Good begets good. One person becomes good, inspires one more person to do good. So this goes on like that. They have been supporting the women's education especially. And I truly believe that there is so much that still needs to be done. But with more people like them joining us, it is possible. She did mention Navaratri is a time when we celebrate womanhood. Not just celebrate it, we actually worship the womanhood. And we believe that that goddess which resides in all of us, she also resides in the men, by the way. Because Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu, Shakti Rupena Samstita. So all the power that you have, energy that you have with which we try to dominate the world, especially the women's world, that power also is women, feminine. That is how our scriptures say. So don't be too arrogant about your powers. So that Shakti resides in everybody. We are all born of the same, we are made of the same thing, we do things because of that. But that is given a feminine a kind of a interpretation in our scriptures, not a masculine. Generally, power is masculine. You see, in nature also, the male species are larger in size, more powerful, strong, well-built. And female species are generally smaller in almost all nature, you see, humans included. So generally, the power or the strength is attributed to masculinity. Whereas in Indian system, it is not so. We consider that is a feminine phenomenon, even if it's in a male. Because that power itself, the energy is Prakriti, that Shakti itself is a feminine force. That is an amazing discovery, isn't it? No scripture, no other culture thought about it. You are men not because of yourself, it's because of the feminine in you, which is the power, without which you cannot be powerful. All claps from that side. Men are in two minds, whether to clap for this or not to clap for this. And women are itching. Let us clap now. Again, it has nothing to do with the physical men and women. It is to do with the conceptual idea that womanhood is a powerful phenomenon. But most of the time, that power is not allowed to express itself. And that is why women remain unfulfilled or their potential is never realized. But when I see our children, especially girls here, how they have blossomed. I have seen them as little girls, and now they have all grown into such amazing women who are so capable. They take responsibility of things and they guide the next generation. And they still fight many battles, because you see, in our society is very different, where women are not looked as equals. They don't get the same rights as men. They are not allowed to take decisions. They have to follow somebody's decision. And many times my plight is that sometimes the women only who come in the way of the women. The mother stops the daughter from getting educated, or the mother-in-law stops the daughter-in-law from going and doing what she needs to do. That is very unfortunate. I feel that every woman should encourage another woman, that's for sure, to come up in life without forgetting your duties and responsibilities. Womanhood and this feminism are two different things. This whole feminism has confused the women of the world about what their real duties and responsibilities are. In the name of equality, we have gone too far and trying to compare apple with an orange and somehow make an orange look like an apple. It won't happen. Men and women are created in a certain way by the divine. Like all species, in a flower or in a tree or in a bird or a beast, everybody, they have to. And they have their roles and responsibilities. While you can do many things like each other, but there are certain things that are best done by one of them. I think that understanding should not go. Even Bhagavan, once somebody was asking, this all equality of the women, they should go out and work and do this and that. He said, no harm in doing that. After you have fulfilled the responsibilities towards your family and children, go ahead and do. Because when child is small, they need the mother. That is when their hearts open. That is the phase of growth which needs the presence of a mother more than the father. And that is why it is important that you fulfill those duties and then you go. Otherwise, you would have done disservice to your family and the society. So equality does not mean that you just start doing everything from the day one just like each other. No, everybody is made differently. Biologically we are different. Psychologically we are different. In so many ways we are different, and we should respect that difference. That difference is our dignity. Don't try to, erase that differences, say somehow we'll become equal and both will get the same opportunity. Yet same opportunities for education, perfect. Opportunities to work, perfect. Opportunities to grow and thrive, perfect. But there are certain duties and obligations that even then it is given to only women to do or only men to do. And I think that is something we must respect. The world is going, I do not know where. I don't know whether I should even start a topic like this on this day. I may get bashed up by some feminist groups. But I was reading, I am very avid follower of technology, because I have seen the difference that technology has made. This mission would not have been possible without technology. You sit here, you look at your email, you approve all the drawings of the projects, you approve budgets without even talking, meeting people. You get everything done on your phone. My one phone is an office. It works like 50 people, just one phone. And that is how technology has transformed. Even spirituality has been transformed. The YouTube videos and Instagram and all these messages that go around the world, people watching the rituals. What is it all? Technology. It's all driven by technology. But it is still making a difference. It's still connecting people spiritually or socially, or the medical technology that we are talking about, the innovations in medical devices, diagnostics, wearables. So many things are happening, all that. All that is right, all that is good, I definitely. But what I was saying, that I was reading technology something, and they said now they're coming up with artificial wombs. So you don't have to carry the baby within you. You have a machine like an oven. You put it inside all the ingredients, and things will grow. And then when the time is there, and it has an artificial way of feeding nutrition, maintaining the temperature, the moisture, the whatever is required for the fetus to grow. And just in case halfway through you see through the glass that the fetus is not going well, just abort it without any risk to yourself. You don't want an autistic child, you don't want a congenital disease, you do not want a child born early. You can easily abort, switch off the machine, that fetus dies, and then you clean it up and start all over again. This is what the next generation thing is coming up. And I keep reading these science journals, and I keep reading these articles to understand what's happening in the world of science, especially in the world of technology, in healthcare. But they're talking like this. Now I thought, what would happen to this whole idea of Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu Matru Rupena Samstita? Now we'll have to say, Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu Technology Rupena Samstita. Artificial wombs, artificial babies. Still surrogacy, I was still okay. I was thinking, you are incapable, or you are whatever, medically not fit. It's a risk. You become surrogate and you use that surrogacy. But that became a business. That was another side of it. The Indian government has put a lot of rules now on surrogacy. But from test tube babies, now we're moving into artificial wombs. So you just put it like you put your ovens and bakery stuff in the house. Just put that and put your fetus inside that. Your baby grows. And just make sure that the machine is running fine and it is getting all the nutrition from an artificial source, not from the mother's blood and flesh. It grows outside the... I don't know whether we should celebrate such technology. Maybe it helps those who are just not able to conceive or not able to have babies. They feel so unfulfilled and left out. But I'm afraid that these technologies will take things too far. And the very idea of this womanhood, the very idea of motherhood would be destroyed. And I do not know when such babies grow up, whether they will grow up as human beings or they will grow up as machines. I don't know whether they will feel the warmth and the love of the mother who carries the baby in the womb for 9 months. Of course, it's a difficult thing. It's something that nobody can do. That's why men were not given to do this, because they can't do this. They're incapable of such patience and such tolerance. So women were given that because they are capable of that. They have that patience to deal with it. They have that love, compassion, kindness. They're willing to sacrifice. So that is why womanhood is so celebrated. Why Navadurgas are celebrated? This is the reason, because that Shakti is truly visible in a woman. Because only she can give birth to the baby. Men are incapable of that power. So I feel that while we celebrate these festivals, we must celebrate the idea behind these festivals. It's not about men versus women. It's about each being unique, created by the divine for a certain role, certain responsibilities. Of course, it cannot be used against each other, But at the same time, we must respect these boundaries which have been created in a sacred way. And that is what gives the society that we are. Otherwise, we will become like machines, like robots. We will not have emotions, we won't have empathy, we won't have kindness, we won't have warmth in our relationships, we won't be human societies. And when we become like this machine-like, who have no emotions, who do not feel, who do not empathize, I do not know how the world what kind of world that would be. How dry and how unfulfilled. And forget about spirituality then. Who would like to be spiritual? They don't even understand basic human emotions. What will they understand spirituality? So I'm very afraid of technology in this way, that it's sometimes stretching it too far. But at the same time, yes, technology is a game changer. It has saved so many lives. It can help so many people. So we will invest. We continue to invest. She's a technology person. They were very excited to know that we are investing in large language learning models for patient interactions. We're investing in artificial intelligence, machine learning for data analysis, predictive medicine, and precision medicine. We are investing in diagnostic devices for making healthcare available to the last and the least in the rural India. And we are investing in equipment, medical equipments, which can reduce the price so that even a common person can afford, because all the burden is passed on to the patient. So we are also investing. We are not just a charity organization. That was very interesting for them because so far it looks like we are just an organization which keeps giving out free things to people who do not have enough. But no, we are also a thinking organization. We are also an intelligent organization. We are also an innovative organization which wants to solve problems in the best possible way. And that is what we are all investing. So I look forward to partnering with these kind of people, the technologists, the inventors, scientific community, to come together and find solutions which are useful, affordable, accessible to the common people, to the last person also it should reach. And that is why we also are happy to work with these companies. So yes, we celebrate our festivals, we believe in our ancient ideals, we believe in our rituals. At the same time, we are not superstitious, we are not some people who are living in the past. No, India has always been an innovation, country of innovation. It has always found solutions. The first things happened in India, whether the discovery of zero or decimals, or it was about the gravity or the mathematics or the astronomy, the Jyotish Shastra, yesterday we heard about it. So also the soft skills like music, art and medicine, surgery. Bone setting was a known thing here in India when people did not even know how many bones are there in the body. The Western world did not know. We knew what was the composition of womb. The Garbha Suktam, if you read, some scientific mismatches are there because they had to poetically imagine certain things. But largely, they knew the structure of a womb, how the baby grows, at what month, what happens. They had an insight about all these things. So many wonderful scriptures we have. So idea is that yes, we are rooted in our ancientness. At the same time, we are very modern in our outlook and approach. That is why India is a unique land. Nobody can copy it. And I was very surprised that London, like those who were ruling us 100 years ago, they still don't have a digital ID. Whereas Indians have, all of them have Aadhaar ID. Even a rickshaw driver has an Aadhaar ID in India. Look at that digitalization of the whole, the vision of the Prime Minister and whatever happened after that. Amazing. And the common man has digital ID. Now we are talking about taking this technology to the Western world, which generally thinks they are the superior race, they are the holier than thou kind of people. Now all these technologies is going, crossing borders, and actually global capability centers which are being put in India are now showing the way to their mother organizations around the world. So Indians were known because Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu, especially in Indian Bhuteshu, she is very much there because we worship her. See, if we don't acknowledge her, she doesn't respond. We acknowledge her, you worship her, she becomes available to you. She expresses herself because we believe in that superiority of the soul over intelligence. And that is why we get intuition, we get innovation, because that comes from elsewhere. And that is why it's Ramanujam was there. And people asked him, how do you know these equations? How do you know the answers to these very complex mathematical problems? He would say, my God tells me. And Professor Hardy, who was there in Cambridge, he said, no, you tell us how does it happen. You explain. He said, I cannot explain, but I know the answer. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. She tells. Namgiri Amma was her favorite, her deity, his deity whom he used to worship. So Namgiri Amma tells me, he says, he'll get a dream that Lord Narasimha is tearing upon the stomach of Hiranyakashipu and the blood is falling, and the blood falls on the floor and makes the equation or the answer. He used to get such insights. And then he would wake up, he would keep a notepad and a pencil next to his pillow, and he'll wake up and immediately write down all that he remembered. Next day, that would be the answer. So they said the Indians are geniuses, not because of our intelligence, it's because of that intuition, that Chetana Shakti, which is within us, which is the presence of the divine. And because we recognize it, so it helps us. If we don't recognize it, it doesn't respond. Because we recognize it, it responds to us. So that's why Indians were pioneers in every field. Only in the last few centuries, as our spirituality declined, so also our connection with the divine was weakened, because of which our thought process changed and all these intuition and innovation stopped. But I still believe that whatever technology it might be, intelligence-driven can only see so far. It can't go beyond. But intuition-driven innovations will go far, because that is divinely driven. Like this organization is divinely driven. It has broken all records. It even the best of the CEOs, I have met so many global leaders because of this award. They are at their wits' end. They say, this is not practical, this is not doable. Even if there is a profit at the end, nobody can grow an organization this fast. And you have no profit at the end, yet you are growing faster than any corporate. If you look at the X, they say this is unthinkable, unimaginable. How does it happen? I tell the same thing. If it was humanly driven, then we also would have been in the same boat as yours. But this is divinely driven, intuitively driven, because there is purity here. There is selflessness here, and that is why this is growing so fast. So I think that is one lesson that everybody can take. Well, much discussion happened that finally I only said one thing. You also are serving because you are creating jobs. Those people are having families. They are able to raise their children, send them to schools, afford head medicine, and have a house, so that I don't have to look after them. They don't depend on our organization. So that way you are still kind of carrying the weight of the issue, and you are helping in some ways. So as long as you remain honest, clean, transparent, with good corporate governance, you still contribute to the society. If all these corporates do really well, all the leaders are good leaders, there won't be any poor people left. We don't need our organization then. That is the idea. Yesterday also somebody came and said, I have some amazing medical solutions. You don't need to do surgery and things like that. I told I'll be very happy if I have to shut down these hospitals because I don't need to run this. Everybody is healthy even without these. What more can I ask for? But it's not so. That is why we have to run. But all I'm saying is again and again that whoever we might be, whether we are corporates, we are charity, we are individuals, we are groups or communities, the purpose is to do good, good that is born out of this purity of selflessness. That will be good for you and good for everybody. And yes, we have to keep pace with the growing or changing times, especially with technology, but we should not stretch it so far that we lose the humanness and we become machine-like. That is an artificial society that we do not want to create. So I think somewhere we want to draw a line on these matters as well. And to all the innovators and technologies also I want to tell, yes, do things as long as it promotes humanness in the society. But once it becomes antithetic to the very idea of human existence, I think we should draw the Lakshman Rekha and stop it then and there. Otherwise we will end up in a very big mess in the coming times. Hopefully the Mother Goddess whom we worship, she will guide our thought. She will ensure that we do the right thing, we are on the right path, and with that we will be continue to grow. Tomorrow we have Dasara functions. This year it is one day extra because the Tithi changes, but we are celebrating tomorrow. Today we had Ayudha Puja, and I was mentioning Ayudha means instruments. We are all instruments of the divine, and as long as we keep ourselves in shape, tuned, divine can do its work through us. That is all our role is. To express the divinity is the goal of human life, and that will happen with good instruments. So that is the Ayudha Puja. You really worship your body, keep your bodies healthy, keep your minds peaceful and calm, keep your hearts clean and pure. Then you are a good Ayudhas. That goddess will use to do the good in the world. And tomorrow we will be coming early for the Dashera festival. All the yajnas have to get over. The Kumbhabhishekam for the temple also is going to be tomorrow. And then in the afternoon there will be the Rathotsavam. And Data just arrived. Everything is just in time here, management. Is arrived, it is moving, so I am okay with that. So that will go around the ashram. Everybody can come out and offer prayers or worship. And then in the evening we will have a musical program by the students and staff of university. But tonight we have a very special program, and that is by Dr. Sonal Mansingh, a legendary danceress. She is a composer, she is an artist, she is, as I said, she is also a thought leader in art and culture. She has held many prestigious positions. She has been awarded with some of the highest awards that our country offers to artists. And she also has been a member of parliament. So she has worn many hats. But today, she and her troupe are here to perform on this very special occasion of Navaratri. And we look forward to seeing her recital. I'll be back in a few minutes.